Hi, this is your host Swapnil Bhartia and welcome to another episode of TFI Newsroom. And today we have with us Simon Crosby, CTO of Swim. Simon, we have talked to Swim earlier, but just for our audience, can you please tell us what does Swim do?
Swim is a vendor of a software platform that delivers continuous intelligence from streaming data. So the key point about continuous intelligence is that we learn, analyze, and predict on the fly, and that applications always have an answer. So there's no store and then analyze process. We just learn and stably learn, analyze, and predict on the fly.
Simon, this week you're also making an announcement which is Swim Continuum 4.0. Can you talk about this release, some of the highlights, and some of the improvements that you made over the previous release?
The product has very substantial improvements in the core analytical code base. So the features which you use to analyze streaming data on the fly. There's a large portfolio of algorithms to do continuous analysis and learning and prediction. The product also has very substantial bindings in both JavaScript and TypeScript for real-time user interfaces. So there is a core capability which allows user interfaces to be absolutely real-time and in sync with the real world. And in addition, there are bindings in Python which allow data scientists to do data science on live data.
Can you talk about the release cadence? Is it release the new version as and when ready, or do you have to be more predictable for your customers? You have a specific timeline. Also, this is a major release with 4.0. How does your roadmap look like with minor releases? Can you talk about these things?
Our roadmap has basically been about one major release per year, and minor releases get continually delivered to our customers. So our customers benefit from the fact that whenever we have new features, they benefit from those. That is, we do QA and then we distribute to them. The key point here from a delivery perspective is that we've added very substantial amounts of feature set, which we think will make the product directly usable by new customers, and hence the 4.0 name.
Also, you are open core. So what are the components of Continuum which are open source, and what are the components that you keep as secret sauce? Because the beauty of open source is that you can also get community members involved around it.
The entire value prop here is that open source allows developers to be confident that the feature set that we're developing is available to them and always will be, and that we'll continue to add to that. And so everything you need to build large, distributed, stateful, real-time apps at scale is open source. The product adds really security, scalability, and lights out management and deployment as properties which we add in the open core product form, which is Swim Continuum.
We talk about multi-cloud. We also talk about data lakes. So what is the best place, or where is the best place to store data?
Swim Continuum learns from data on the fly. So in general, most of our use cases, customers don't store the original source data. They might be interested in storing the models that we build, and indeed they store the insights that we produce. But the raw data itself is often too voluminous. So let me give you an example. For a US mobile carrier, we're processing more than 4 petabytes of data per day, which is an absolutely staggering amount.
When we talk about cloud or modern workloads, we cannot not talk about edge. Edge can be defined in so many different ways, but the definition is kind of formalizing. It could be edge device or it could be edge data center. But with edge, a lot of things are changing. How are things changing for Swim?
Cool. So the edge, as far as I'm concerned, is not a place. The edge is where data comes from. Okay, it's not where compute happens. So often, for example, in the case where devices are mobile, the first place you get to see unencrypted data is in the cloud. Okay, and devices are mobile, so you can't pick a place, you can't pick a physical location for the compute. And so the edge is more a methodology of computing on raw data on the fly. That said, many of our deployments use both on-prem and hybrid deployments. So there we will simply deploy on a hybrid implementation on top of Kubernetes or something similar.
How do you see things are changing as we are working remotely, work from home, because suddenly cloud or AI ML, they are becoming kind of, the first, is no longer an afterthought. And what impact it will have on swim itself, because there is suddenly a demand that we didn't see earlier.
What we've seen is that companies are dealing with the consequences of COVID. So they're having to adapt their strategies on the fly. And so this necessity to process data and gain rapid insights into changes that might inform strategies and so on is really important. So customers are all the more incentivized to learn from large amounts of information on the fly. So we've seen a strong tendency towards continuous intelligence and away from this store then analyze approach.
Simon, thank you so much for taking your time out and talking about this release. And as usual, I would look forward to talk to you again. Thank you.
Thanks so much.